The top 10 best Bruce Lee fight scenes. Welcome to Top Mainstream, the place where you'll get the best dose of entertainment videos on the internet. We are back with another exciting video. Bruce Lee is perhaps owed to the greatest of all deaths by martial arts cinema. At a time when Eastern fight choreography was balletic and theatrical, eons ahead of anything coming out of Hollywood at the time, though still unrealistic, Lee emerged as a counter-revolutionary force. There's no doubt the subsequent generation of performers really perfected Lee's innovations and raised their stakes with the likes of Jackie Chan, Yuen Bao, and others. But Lee was the progenitor of that particular renaissance, and above all, an astonishing athlete and martial artist. Here is our list of the top 10 best Bruce Lee fight scenes ever put to film. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also, share this video with your friends. Number 10. Fist of Fury, 1972, Final Bout. This is the absolute last fight to occur in Fist of Fury, which sees Bruce Lee's Chen Zhen taken on the head of the Japanese school moments after dismantling the Russian martial artist they brought in as a sort of familial enforcer. Following the master inside the dojo, Lee is met with a barrage of feet, fists, and katana assaults before disarming his opponents with his most famous of weapons, those omnipresent black nunchaku, and kicking him to his death through a large window spilling into the courtyard. Number 9. Enter the Dragon, 1973, Group Fight. Enter the Dragon is Lee's most overrated film. That being said, however, the film is in fact memorable, quotable, and well made. And it has one especially good group fight, with Lee moving around through underground warehouses and combating countless security guards with all the weapons at his cumulative disposal. Nunchaku, staffs, smaller Eskrima-style stick weapons, the applications are identical and fully realized. Where the film goes awry is towards its close, when a potentially mind-boggling fight with an adversary everyone is anticipating is avoided in favor of a lesser encounter. Number 8. Game of Death, 1978, Bruce Lee vs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's no question this is a clash approaching epic proportions. Bruce Lee was at the top of his game before burning himself out on the Western-produced Enter the Dragon, cloaked in his signature yellow jumpsuit, and displaying all of his methods of forcible disarmament. The truth is, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's size offers great visual tension, but he's expectantly less fluid and precise in his movements than the smaller, more nimble Lee. Notable instances include Abdul-Jabbar's massive footprint on Lee's chest and the steady back and forth throughout the encounter in lieu of a more Lee-dominant exchange, as was the usual policy. Number 7. Game of Death, 1978, Nunchaku Duel. One thing of special interest about Lee's use of the nunchucks is that they're a traditional Japanese, not Chinese, weapon. This brings on complications in something like Fist of Fury, where Lee's protagonist is supposed to be deeply nationalistic with regards to his native China, and especially vengeful in view of his Sifu's death at the hands of the Japanese. So fighting them with their cultural weapon seems strange. For this reason, Bruce Lee really exists in his own specific universe. And those questionable inconsistencies aside, the actual mechanics are astonishing to behold. Number 6. The Big Boss, 1971, Final Fight. Lee's first movie is, I think, perhaps his most satisfying for several reasons, if also his bleakest and most grisly. And while the climactic final battle isn't as impressive as its predecessor, it's still fast-paced and precisely executed, with Lee's younger hero fighting the more experienced and ruthless local crime boss. It's a vicious encounter, concluded by Lee straddling his fallen adversary and pummeling him until police arrive. If you like this video, then do consider to subscribe to our channel. We bring such cool and interesting videos to entertain you on a regular basis. Number 5. Fist of Fury, 1972, Penultimate Bout. This was perhaps Bruce Lee's first exhaustive, evenly matched fight up to that point in his career. And seeing the master have to summon inner strength and reformulate his strategy to surmount an adversary is a rare and exciting thing to behold. We get some pressing information regarding the foe earlier in the film, as he's shown bending metal bars and demolishing cinder blocks with minimal effort. And even though Li Chen has obliterated everyone he's been confronted by, the fight has a lot of precarious wonder to it. Number 4. The Way of the Dragon, 1972. Group Battle. Way of the Dragon saw Bruce Lee's re-employment of a strategy from his first film. When his abilities are finally revealed, the fight is terse and technical. But the second go-around, with a massive collection of mob enforcers in the same alley, is one of the great, iconic scenes of its kind. The way he single-handedly incapacitates foe after foe before fighting his way inside and turning the tide of the developing hostage situation is one of those exhibitions forever ingrained in the minds of countless moviegoers. Number 3. The Way of the Dragon, 1972. Tang Lung vs. Colt. A weaponless bout, likely his most famous, the final showdown in The Way of the Dragon between Lee's Tang Lung and an American martial artist named simply Colt, played by Chuck Norris, is preceded and arguably exceeded by its own reputation. It's one of very few occasions, as mentioned earlier, in which Bruce Lee finds himself having to truly rise up and overcome. The obstacle in this case is the hired muscle of his mob adversaries, an American martial artist who confronts Lee in the Roman Colosseum. It's a long fight, culminating in Lee's use of the Ali Shuffle and a calculated barrage of fast, direct Wing Chun-style short-range strikes and sweeping roundhouses with the occasional torpedo-like sidekick. And in perfect form, the man sometimes dubbed the first mixed martial artist ends the bout with a fatal choke. Number 2. The Big Boss, 1971. Factory Fight. Lee's defiant Chan stumbles upon the dead bodies of his other cousins, presumed missing, encased in ice at his employer's warehouse. Surprised by the owner and local crime boss's nephew with his accompanying goon squad, Lee proceeds to brutalize the group with cold, preconceived onslaughts ranging from flying flashlights to handsaws to salvaged daggers thrust back at his attackers. As the battle moves outdoors, Lee downs every last opponent, going so far as to punch one higher-ranking employee through the warehouse wall. Even though the final confrontation in this film is motivated by incomparable rage, there is something in this scene that puts it on its own distinguished level. Number 1. Fist of Fury, 1972. Chen vs. Japanese School. Fist of Fury, based partly on real events, is and was Lee's most nationalistically significant piece of work in his home country. After learning of his master, and having just been insulted by the rival Japanese school's top students and translator, Li Chen descends upon the enemy dojo and simply embarrasses the lot of them. It's Bruce Lee's definitive moment, his most historically potent fight, and a vast showcase of his widespread capabilities. So these were the top 10 best Bruce Lee fight scenes. Which fight scene did you enjoy the most? Did you have any other favorite fight sequences which we forgot to mention in our list? Do let us know in the comment section below. For more such entertaining videos, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will bring the next video very soon. Till then, peace out.